Welcome to the Long Run with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And what are we doing today?
We're going to come to you with a list of 5 things that could be costing you a lot of money in the store. And be sure to stick around for number 5, because that one's probably the biggest one that's costing you money at the store. So let's talk about the mistakes you may be making when you're grocery shopping.
All right, let's get to it.
Number 1 mistake, not in importance, just saying, is that you should shop at home first. Now, I know you're gonna go, oh, you're talking about inventory. Yeah, I am. But see, like a lot of people say, check your circulars and make your meal plan with circulars with all the things that are on sale. And we're not saying that you shouldn't ever check those. What we're saying is make your meal plan based on what you already have in your house, in your freezer, your refrigerator, your pantry, and then look at the circulars to fill in any days that you didn't get completed. Like say if you're making a meal plan for 7 days and what you have in your house will only cover 5 meals, use the circular for those last 2. But don't like ignore what you already have and just go straight to the circulars.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, don't buy a bunch of stuff that you don't need or you may not need right now.
Or might go bad before you get to it because you were ignoring what you already have.
Now, the second mistake you may be making in your grocery shopping is that you're wasting food or you're not making the best use of your leftovers. So if you buy produce and you don't need it till the end of the week or until the week after, that produce is probably going to go bad. And make sure you're checking the best by dates on those and then buying your produce as close to the actual times you're going to use it, or you might lose it. So use it, don't lose it. So make sure you're buying like for us, we buy produce that we're going to use that particular week. If we're not going to use it that week and we do a 2-week haul, then we go back the next week to do a small haul and buy our produce for the second week on those weeks. So make sure you're buying your produce close to the time you're going to buy it, or it could go bad on you. And then the second thing is make better use of your leftovers. Make meals that will give you leftovers, and that'll stretch your dollar a little bit more. Like we use the spatchcock chicken. We do chicken and potatoes and broccoli, and then we use the leftover chicken for a soup the next day or a casserole. I don't like the word casserole. We don't do casseroles.
He just doesn't like the word.
We don't make casseroles. We make other things that
it's the same thing.
That, you know, like a spaghetti or like a cheesy spaghetti or something like that. It's not a casserole, it's cheesy spaghetti. So make sure you're making better use of your leftovers so that you're not throwing away food. You're using those things to supplement other meals that'll stretch your dollar a little bit further.
Yeah, and as a caveat to that also, if you're questioning if something is safe to keep or to freeze or to eat at all, Google is your friend.
Yep.
Google whatever it is and say, is this safe to eat? Or how do I know when this has gone bad? Or how long can I keep this in the refrigerator? Or can I freeze this? And as a general rule, if you have ever seen some item frozen in your grocery store in the freezer section, you can probably freeze it. So check and see, how do I freeze it? Like I've saved spinach from going bad by saving it, and all I had to do was Google it and see, how do I save it? So Google is your friend, at least in most cases.
Yep.
All right, so our number 3 mistake that you may be making at the grocery store is you're buying too many convenience items. I know it's really easy to buy it and just not have to make it, but the truth is that you're paying a premium for someone else to do the work for you. Generally, especially if it's in a packaged boxed area, it's got added stuff in it anyway, and so you're not eating as healthy if you buy it. If it's in the produce section, it could still have some type of preservatives or something in it that's keeping it shelf stable. But if it's like cut up produce, it could go bad really fast because it's already been exposed to the air. So you're paying a premium for something that might go bad faster or might have some weird ingredients, and it's costing you more money. We've been sharing all this month, we called it Make It Yourself May, and we've been sharing ways that you can make things at home that are really easy. Now, we're not saying you need to do something that's going to cost you hours of time, but the things that we've shared cost us minutes, minutes, and saved us money. In every single case, we saved money by making these things, and we made it healthier, and we knew exactly what ingredients was in it. And some of it saved us from having to buy something from the freezer section. Some of it saved us from buying something in a prepackaged thing that might have added ingredients. The point is that learning which things will save you money and time at the same time is a great thing to do. So be sure to check that out. We will link that playlist of every one of the shorts videos that we shared. And we also have had some contributors who also shared things, and we'll be including those in the playlist as well. So be sure to check that out.
All right, so mistake number 4 that you're making on your grocery shopping is you're going to the grocery store too much. Now, we all forget things. We forget things. We make a list and still forget things. Or we make a list and we say, you know, we don't have that here, or it's out of stock or something. We have to go somewhere else and get it. We did that just last week with the lemons. We
didn't get it when we bought groceries.
We didn't get the lemon when we bought groceries. And so I knew I was going to have to go get a lemon. So I got one. I stopped at the grocery store on my way home from work. I got a lemon. I walked into the grocery store, picked up a lemon, walked out. It's 46 cents. And I didn't walk out with anything else. Now, if you're going several different times during the week and you say, well, you know what, why don't we just do this tonight? Maybe you don't have a meal plan. And you say, okay, we're just going to do this tonight. So we're going to go buy just this. We're going to make spaghetti tonight. So we're going to go buy the ingredients for spaghetti. And then we're going to come home and make the spaghetti. But you go to the grocery store, you buy the ingredients for spaghetti. You also get, cupcakes, and you get we need some cereal. We're going to get some milk, or there's a deal here on milk where you get a jug of milk when you buy a box of cereal that you don't really need. Mm-hmm. And you find that you're walking out the door, instead of spending, $3 or $5 on ingredients for spaghetti, you're walking out of the grocery store with $35, $40, $45, $50 worth of stuff that you really didn't need to begin with. And you're wasting money doing that by going several different times during the week and buying extra things that weren't on your list to begin with.
Yeah. So basically what we're saying is, if you haven't conditioned yourself, because the truth is that years ago when we were first on our debt-free journey, or before we ever started it, if that would have happened with the lemon, we would have also gotten cupcake or maybe some candy bars at the register, because that's why they put the candy bars at the register. Mm-hmm. It's because they want you to pick up a few while you're in the line. That was how we used to be, and it wouldn't have been good back in those days for us to forget a lemon or whatever, or come up with the spaghetti idea. So, but in the past few years, because we do no spend challenges and we do things like that, we have learned that if we needed a lemon, we go in and we get a lemon. And so if you haven't conditioned yourself to be able to go in and get a lemon and walk out spending only 46 cents on that one lemon, then you shouldn't go in the stores. Find something else, look in the pantry. Don't come up with new plans. Make sure that you have things that you can put together easily. Like sometimes we'll do eggs and bacon or something. If a meal isn't working out because maybe we forgot something, we might make breakfast food.
Yep.
Things like that. Like, don't run to the store if you know that you're going to end up spending $40 when you were only going to spend 46 cents on a lemon.
Yep.
All right. And now that I've rambled on that one, now it's time for the number it's actually the number 5 mistake, but to us, it is probably one of the biggest things that is causing people to spend extra at the grocery store. Here we go. You're making assumptions. All right. So you're going to assumptions about what? Well, we have 3 things that you may be making assumptions about that's actually costing you money. 1, you are assuming that generic is always the cheapest thing that you can buy. I would say 90% of the time, you're right. But what about the 10% when you're wrong? When generic wasn't cheaper? And if you watch some of our former grocery hauls, we've shown this, where there would be an instance where something generic was sitting right beside a brand name and it was more expensive than the brand name version.
Yep.
Like I said, rarely happens, but it happens. Like one time we showed cashews and the Planters version was actually cheaper than the generic, the Great Value brand sitting right beside it. And that happens at a lot of stores. We have even seen it happen at Aldi, where we saw an Aldi generic was actually more expensive than what a brand name was at Walmart. So it's that assumption that a generic is always cheaper that could be costing you money because of the 10% chance that it might not be cheaper. So if you just go through and you just grab and you never look at the prices of anything, you might be making a mistake about like 10% of the time.
Yep.
So that's one. Here's another one. Assuming that bulk is cheaper than buying non-bulk. I'm afraid it's true. There are times when we have seen where something in bulk was actually more expensive per unit cost than the, smaller package. So again, it's about 90% of the time that bulk is cheaper. But 10% of the time, I'm totally making up these statistics, but there is a percentage somewhere there probably. But anyway, I can make up statistics. Right?
Sure, 89% of all statistics are made up on the spot.
Yeah, I know he's a stats guy, so I knew he would back me up on that. Anyway.
I just made that up on the spot, by the way.
Yeah, so bulk might be costing you money because you're assuming that because you went into a bulk warehouse, you were getting the best price immediately. Not always the case. And that 10% of the time that you're buying something in bulk that would have been cheaper if you had not purchased it in bulk, may be costing you money.
Yep.
All right, so that's two of them. One more assumption that you may be making that could be costing you money. And this one's probably the biggest assumption of all. That your store always has the best price, so you don't need to price compare. Sorry, every store has to be making a profit somehow, and we have shown it in many grocery hauls, and we shop at, okay, I'll just go ahead and say them. We shop at Aldi. We don't shop at Dollar Tree often because it's in the opposite direction, but we have shown, we did a Do the Math Challenge series, and we showed 2 instances where Dollar Tree was not the best purchase for you. We've heard several people say the best place to buy pasta is at Dollar Tree because it's only $1.25 for a box. That's 20 ounces. Guys, you can, in our local Walmart, you can buy 16 ounces for 92 cents, which actually makes it a half a penny cheaper than buying at Dollar Tree. Why would we leave our Walmart and drive in the opposite direction of our town and spend a half a cent more to get 20 ounces instead of the 16 ounce? We don't, because we price compare. But like I said, I mean, if you're already going to that Dollar Tree and it's on the opposite side of town, then just pay the extra half a cent per ounce for the pasta. But don't be fooled into believing that everything at Dollar Tree or everything at Aldi or everything at any discount grocery store in your area is automatically cheaper just because it's in that store. Because there are great deals in those stores. And if that's the only store you're going to go to, then go ahead and probably buy it. But if you are like us, we have an Aldi and a Walmart and a Sam's Club within
about a half a mile of each other.
So why would we spend extra at Aldi for some things, but less at others? Instead, we buy at Aldi what's going to be the best price at Aldi, and we go to Walmart and we spend what's best at the best price at Walmart. We price compare by unit cost. And also, just a little note on that before we end this little thing. Don't assume that unit cost on the label of products is always correct, because we have shown that when we did the Do the Math Challenge that they make mistakes. by actually, I guess, I don't know, not dividing it right. I don't know, but the point is that it was completely wrong. Like when you do the math, you realize that sometimes the unit cost written there is wrong. Also, they make it purposely vague, in my opinion, I don't know, but they will have one product on the shelf and it will say per ounce. And then right beside it will be one that says per each. And then right beside it will be another thing that doesn't even make sense. Like we saw that with the cashews, the Planters cashews last week, that it was the same size container. One was salted and one was lightly salted. And they both said per each, but and they were the exact same total price, but their per each amounts were somehow different.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the salted version that it was showing as being cheaper than the lightly salted version, but they were the exact same price and the exact same size container.
Yep.
So there's no way that that's correct. And what they were determining as per each, I have no idea, because what is a per each, like per cashew? I don't think so, because it was like $2.
Yeah.
So you can't always trust the unit cost. That's why you need to use your calculator. And some of you may be thinking right now, I don't have time for that. We have a video that we did during the Do the Math Challenge where we showed how much time we actually spent in the store doing the math. And you're gonna have to make a decision, unfortunately, during these times of inflation. Am I gonna spend more time or am I gonna spend more money? If your answer is more money, then don't do the math. But if your answer is, I don't have more money to give up, I'm gonna have to give up a little time, then spend the extra 5 or 10 minutes in the grocery store and know that you have the right price the first time.
Yep.
Right.
All right, so drop us a comment below and let us know some assumptions that you think people are making that are costing them money in the grocery store. We'd love to hear that. Drop us that comment below and let us know that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell for updates when we upload new videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes on the weekend, sometimes in between. You just kind of never know when we're going to drop one in there. But with that said, that's going to do it today for The Long Run with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And don't forget, it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.